The letter arrives. The wind howled across the open fields surrounding Windmere Hall, a restless force that clawed at the gables and rattled the iron weather vane like an impatient messenger. Rain had come in short, slanting bursts all morning, painting the windows in streaks and turning the gravel path to the front door into a ribbon of slick, dark stone. Inside the manor, the halls remained silent, disturbed only by the occasional creak of settling timber and the faint ticking of the long-case clock in the entrance foyer. Agatha Bellamy, the current custodian of Windmere Hall and niece to its late master, stood at the library window with a steaming cup of black tea in hand. She had returned to the estate only 3 days earlier, summoned not by nostalgia but by necessity. The solicitor's voice had been clipped and emotionless on the telephone. "You're the last listed heir, Miss Bellamy. The house is yours." It hadn't felt like a gift. It had felt like an obligation, one she wasn't ready for. Still, here she was, watching the storm roll over the distant hills as though the land itself were grieving. It was just before noon when the knock came, sharp and sudden. 3 clean raps on the heavy oak door. Agatha nearly dropped her cup. Visitors were rare out here. She made her way to the front door cautiously, her footsteps muffled by the thick Persian runner carpeting the hall. When she opened it, the wind pushed in with a gust of damp air and rustling leaves. A man stood on the threshold, dressed in the deep blue uniform of the Royal Mail. His cheeks were pink from the cold, and his cap sat askew over thinning hair. "Delivery for Miss A. Bellamy," he said, holding out a small cream-colored envelope. It bore no return address, just her name in dark ink, elegant slanted script that looked almost too careful, too deliberate. "Thank you," she said, taking it gingerly. The postman gave a courteous nod and retreated to his van. As the door closed, the hush returned. Agatha studied the envelope. It felt thicker than normal correspondence. Not quite a letter. Not quite a card. The paper had a texture like pressed linen, and the ink shimmered faintly under the hall's low light. She walked back to the library, set the envelope on the desk beside her untouched notebook, and stared at it for several seconds before sitting down. She didn't open it immediately. There was something about the object that felt ceremonial, almost sacred. She let her fingers brush over the flap, tracing the wax seal that marked it. The seal was unusual, a symbol she didn't recognize at first glance. It looked like an ornate key wrapped in ivy. Unfamiliar, yet somehow connected to the house. That in itself was a warning. When she finally broke the seal, the scent of lavender and old parchment wafted.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?